This morning, I had a great conversation with a potential creative coaching client, and we spoke about editing. Specifically, how do I know I'm getting better, but also how do I kind of point it at what? This morning, I had a very interesting discussion with a potential creative coaching client, and the conversation revolved around editing, the processing of images. And the question is it good enough? How do I know it's getting better? My answer to that is, for what? Like, what are you processing for? Because on trips, often we'll sit and you'll come back from a morning drive or from a shoot and you'll process start to finish. What are you processing for? Just to get a baseline, is it going onto your website? Is it going onto Instagram? Are you going to print? Because there's subtle differences and the nuance there matters, right? Are you printing images because then you need to look at how you sharpen? Are you going onto Instagram because you can get away with more saturation and more contrast? It depends on what you're pointing this at. So a lot of the conversation then revolved around, how do I know this is good enough? Well, good enough for what? For what? So also, how does that evolve over time? How do you evolve your processing? How do you get better? So the one thing we decided is, if you have, and I've spoken about this before, if you have a portfolio of 12 images, which is your hero work, that's your calling card. I meet you in a coffee shop, you say, I hear you're a photographer, and I say, can I see some of your images? This is the stuff you're going to show me, right? The top 12. But then underneath that, you can have collections of, call it lions, leopards, polar bears, loons, doesn't matter. But within each of those collections, you can push your editing style in a different direction. You can do Africa and monochrome, and you can process that to a certain way. Then you can do vintage Africa, and you can create a sepia sequence of images. You can create colors of the Great Bear Rainforest, and you can dial the saturation up just a little bit. So you don't have to get stuck in one particular, this is how I always do things, because themes are different, destinations are different. Your creative interpretation of the collection you're creating is different. But when you take all of those, that's where you play, right? You play in these collections and you process it differently. You give it a different vibe, a different theme. And then when you pull those images up to your top 12, whichever ones make it, then we can look at that body of work and say, right, that's kind of what your processing is. But then the question comes in again of, for what? For social, for print, for selling, for publication, for Instagram. It's all different. So like I said in a different video about performance and about life, maybe with your photography, you need to stop looking for the answers that you're currently looking for and ask better questions. It'll unlock a lot of stuff, I promise you that.